Yeah, the main objective of this video is to show all the lab exercises that I'm doing as part of my summer class Python deep learning. So the objectives of different programs were to do linear regression, to do logistic regression, text classification with CNN, text classification with LSTM, and image classification with CNN. So this is the overall picture of different datasets that I've used and different hyperparameters that I've used for each program and what I've used for visualization. So wherein the first objective of linear regression was to use a different set of hyperparameters and compare both of them. Similarly with logistic regression. And third one was do a text classification with CNN on spam text and text classification with LSTM on the same dataset and compare both of these runs. And the last one was to do image classification with CNN on MNIST dataset. So let's walk through the code. So basically, if I can differentiate the workflow across different programs, the common steps were to import all the libraries that you need, to read the dataset, to do data pre-processing, to create the model, to fit the model, and finally to evaluate the model. This is a common workflow across all the 6 programs. So I'll quickly walk through each program here. So basically this part here is importing all the modules that we need, and for the first one it is the dataset is airfare, so we are reading the dataset airfare and creating a data frame and storing all the columns that we need. And here we are doing some pre-processing of the data, splitting the data into both train and test set, and this is all basically is a pre-processing of the data. And here are the hyperparameters that I'm passing to the data. So the second set of hyperparameters for this program I have commented right now, and the logic here is basically to create the model. So we are creating basically a sequential model, adding dense layers to it with a different activation functions, tan, and relu, and the loss should be loss being the mean square error because this being a linear regression function, and sending the data into the tensor board, and finally fitting the model and showing the loss and trying to show the loss and epoch values from the model fit and mean square error from the model fit, and also finally evaluating the model. As I have to run all the models, for now I'm skipping running each model. The second one was to do logistic regression in the model. So this is also the same, importing all the models. This is Japan EMG is the dataset that I've used. Use a data frame for storing all the columns, split the dataset into training and test set, doing some data pre-processing here, and these are the training parameters or hyperparameters that I've used, and these are the hyperparameters that I've used for second run. Basically this is the logic for creating the model. The optimizer used as Adam, again the mean square error for logistic regression, activation functions are used as tan, and relu, and finally sending the data to tensor board, fitting the model and evaluating the model. And the third one was to do text classification with CNN. This basically the data file is spam text, importing all the modules, doing some pre-processing that I need, and this is basically creating the model, sequential model, adding multiple layers to it. And the hyperparameters were the epochs to be being the 10 and batch size to be 32. Here we are running the model. For example, I can run you this model and show you. Hopefully this doesn't take much time. Come on. Yep, this is all the text data, and finally it is running multiple epochs on it. So in the meanwhile it runs the data for you. I can walk through the other program. This is again the same, doing the text classification on this, but here we are using recurrent neural network, that is using LSTM long short-term memory for fixing the vanishing gradient problem so that you get better accurate results here. This is also the same, basically again the same routine, importing the dataset, reading the dataset, doing some pre-processing, creating a model, and finally fitting the model. So basically I've used 10 epochs. So So we have seen all the epochs and we have seen the lab 2.4. So finally the sixth program is nothing but doing an image classification with CNN. So the dataset that I used is MNIS dataset, and here the dataset is nothing but pictures of the digits 0 to 9. So this is a grayscale image, so all the values are in between 0 to 255. So as part of pre-processing, I'm converting everything into 0 to 1, and finally creating a sequential model with multiple layers added to it, and a dropout value of 0.2, and optimizer that I'm using is Adam, and loss is sparse categorical cross entropy here, and I'm fitting the model, and finally evaluating the model. Thank you.